We are in Russell-Lee in the city of Canada Bay to have a look at an example of successful composting in a unit block. Verena and Adele are responsible for this project and they will be sharing their experience to help others.
About three or 4 years ago, I did a course in Cert 4 on enviro and sustainability, and we learned about separating our waste in one of the modules. And then in the Canada Bay Council website, there was also a course that was being held by Helen about composting and learning about worm farming and composting and all of that. So I grabbed my neighbor Verena and we went to this composting workshop that was being held in Five Dock. And in the workshop we learned about worm farming and what sort of waste should go into the compost bins. And I guess coming back to the initial question on why did we start composting was because, you know, when you're cooking in the kitchen, you've got food scraps. And then you're thinking about, oh, what should I do with these food scraps? They shouldn't go in the red top bins, nor in the yellow top bins. So composting was the way to go. Well, the initial startup was a little bit of a challenge. It took about a year for everyone to warm up to the idea of composting. Well, the first thing was that I wrote an email to the committee members to let them know about this great initiative that we're going to implement in this block. And because I was owner-occupied, I was also part of the committee. And I kind of educated them a little bit about composting and what should go into the compost bin and what should not go in the compost bin. And one of the committee members was quite against the idea of setting up the compost bin in a block of units because at home, he tried composting as well, but he was getting rats and vermin in and around his compost bin.
Well, there are 8 units in the block, and initially when we started our composting, we went door knocking to all the neighbours and basically told them about our compost bin. And then also when we also passed neighbours on the street, we told them about the compost bin that we had started. And we basically just welcomed them to use the compost bin and told them that it was there for everyone to use and to feel free to ask us if they had any questions. We actually had no complaints at all, so our composting experience was very positive. We had lots of signs around the building that actually stated things that shouldn't go into the compost bin, so I think that really helped with actually having no problems with our rats or anything like that. So when it comes to composting, diversity is essential. So as you can see in our compost bin here, we've got a variety of materials. We've got some egg carton shells, we've got some fruit and vegetable scraps, we've got some torn up cardboard, some torn up newspaper. We also need to obviously add carbon materials, so things like leaves. Unfortunately with our block of units we don't have much garden space, so in terms of getting things like dry leaves, we also look to other local properties on the street or just on the footpath, and we gather dry materials such as leaves just from our footpaths. Okay, so I'm just going to use our aerator here and just give it a good churn, and we've just added some new material today.
Oh. I'll lift it up for the camera so we can see. Have we got any worms in there?
Okay.
I can see eggshells. Smells good.
It does smell like a nice bottle of wine.
bottle of wine.
Earthy and aromatic.
That looks like the right moisture level. It's nice and moist without being too wet. So you add water on a regular basis.
Yeah, so when we sometimes see that it's looking a little bit dry in the compost bin, we will add water. Especially after you've added a lot of carbon material, it sometimes can get a little bit dry.
That's excellent. Thank you so much to Adele and Verena for their time. I have no doubt that their enthusiasm and commitment will inspire others to give it a go. If you want to start composting in your unit block, please look at the composting video and download the fact sheet to help you. If you want to start composting in your unit block, please follow these steps. The first step is to watch the composting video on the Compost Capers webpage and download the fact sheet, because understanding how to run a healthy and pest-free compost bin is the key to the success of your project. The second step is to get approval from your body corporate. For more information, you can download our apartment block composting fact sheet from the Compost Capers webpage. The third step, if you receive body corporate approval to start composting, get your free compost bin by completing our apartment block composting survey on the Compost Capers webpage.